Mark my words, by the end of 2019, you're going to be hard-pressed to find this film out of my top 10 of the year. My thoughts on John Wick Chapter 3, coming up. What is up, everyone, and welcome to Men vs. Movies. I'm Griffin. As always, if this is your first time checking out one of our videos, consider hitting that subscribe button where we take on the best and worst of cinema on a weekly basis. John Wick Chapter 3 Parabellum is directed by Chad Stahelski and it stars Keanu Reeves, Halle Berry, Lawrence Fishburne, Ian McShane, and Asia Kate Dillon. When a $14 million contract is posted following the events of John Wick Chapter 2, John Wick must battle his way through endless assassins in an attempt to escape New York City. With the help of a few friends, the legendary hitman seeks to dismantle the order he once served and reclaim his life. I'm gonna say this. John Wick Chapter 3, within the first couple of minutes, starts off with Keanu Reeves killing a guy with a book. If that doesn't set the tone for your film, I don't know what does. As the dominoes begin to fall, the stage is set for a high-octane, utterly badass, and bulletproof adrenaline rush that ranks as the series' finest installment. Director Chad Stahelski and the entire stunt team have truly outdone themselves this time, staging some of the most creative and elaborate action set pieces the Wick films have seen thus far. You can be damn sure that audiences everywhere are going to be losing their heads over the compound assault, which features Halle Berry and her deadly dogs. Not only does Berry shine here, giving her best performance in years and matching the skill, intensity, and intricacy of Reeves' choreography, but the sheer amount of moving parts in play here is jaw-dropping. From Berry's attack dogs maneuvering through endless obstacles, to the fluidity of Berry and Reeves' takedowns, to the signature Wickian gun fu that the series has become iconic for, every piece of this thrill ride is executed to perfection, making for one of the most captivating and explosive action sequences I have seen in recent memory. Oh, and did I mention several parts were done as one takes? Yeah, just let that sink in. While that particular action beat was a massive standout, the action as a whole was nothing short of visceral, as the visuals never ceased to captivate, and the set pieces were dialed up to 11, facing Reeves with his greatest challenges yet. For Parabellum, it quickly became apparent that the filmmakers drew inspiration from classic martial arts flicks for their hand-to-hand combat sequences, in which Chapter 3 prominently features. Dare I say the end result became somewhat lyrical, as the striking visuals and sophisticated skirmishes paired with immersive sound design and operatic music amounted to a thing of beauty. Stahelski and cinematographer Dan Lawson brought such artistry to the look and aesthetic of John Wick 3, utilizing the entirety of the canvas to emphasize the precision of the combat. Evoking the feel of neo-noir with such vibrant colors and distinct lighting, John Wick Chapter 3's visual palette doubles down on the atmospheric nature of Chapter 2, ultimately elevating the film's overall appearance to the next level. The John Wick films certainly aren't known for their story, and for some, this one might come across as just a series of expertly choreographed fight scenes. Can I fault them? Not really. However, what little depth that is brought to the table in John Wick Chapter 3, I found to be rather interesting, as the series continues to expand upon its unique and alluring lore. Similar to John Wick Chapter 2, Parabellum continues to explore the reach and inner workings of the Assassin Order, offering up a globe-trotting adventure and doubling as the modern-day version of the Assassin's Creed video game series. Chapter 3 finds Wick venturing down the rabbit hole in a quest to confront the High Table as he wages war to dismantle the establishment. The film introduces figures from John's past, giving us a peek underneath the armor of what his life was like before settling down, and in so doing, texturizes the character, even if it's just a little bit. In addition to that, many of John's relationships are challenged as a result of his current predicament, and the character is faced with moral dilemmas that require him to rediscover his humanity. In fact, it isn't just John's morality that's put into question. It seems every prominent character in play, especially Ian McShane, is forced to make difficult decisions in where to place their allegiance. However, with this expanded lore comes new faces, and for the most part, they don't disappoint. I briefly touched on Halle Berry's Sophia, but while she wasn't as prominently featured as one would have hoped, her and John did complement each other nicely. For the brief time we do get to spend with Sophia, her personal sacrifices as a result of her occupation coincided with John's strife, serving to illustrate the characters and their dynamic better. While usually a standout in many of their roles, Asia Kate Dillon's The Adjudicator felt a bit stilted and was really more of a plot device than an actual character. Lastly, Mark Dacascos's Zero, the primary assassin hunting Wick, proved to be a charismatic yet intimidating adversary whose admiration for John made for some welcomed comedic beats while still highlighting Dacascos's prowess in martial arts. Before I give you my final verdict on John Wick Chapter 3 Parabellum, why don't you take a second here and like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel for more movie reviews and movie-related content on a weekly basis. John Wick Chapter 3 Parabellum is a surefire hit that continues the precedent set forth by the previous installments, only to surpass them with explosive energy. Chad Stahelski continues to entrench audiences in the world of John Wick, expanding upon the Assassin's Creed-like mythos and crafting stunning and distinct visual atmosphere that nicely sets the stage for some spectacular action sequences. The choreography and set pieces are extravagant and pulse-pounding, marking an all-time high, I might add, for a series that has already pushed the envelope so far. Now, 3 incredibly rock-solid entries in, there's no jumping the gun. John Wick has confidently cemented itself as one of the great action franchises. And so, for all of these reasons and the reasons I've mentioned throughout my review, I'm ultimately going to be giving John Wick Chapter 3 Parabellum Armored Up. And now I want to hear from you all. I want to know what your favorite action franchise is down in the comments section below. And if you've seen John Wick Chapter 3, be sure to let me know your thoughts and opinions on that down there as well. As always, guys, you can like Men vs. Movies on Facebook, follow us on Twitter simply by searching Men vs. Movies. And lastly, if you like me specifically and you like what I have to say, you can give me a follow on Twitter at Griff Schiller. All right, that's going to do it for this review, guys. And until next time, take care.